Okay, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video of May I Take Your Order. In this one I'm trying to get the other endings, or I don't know, I'm gonna see what I can do because there's not really like a breakdown for how to get the other endings. So I'm just gonna see what happens. So I'm gonna oh wait, hold on. Can I load? Hold on. Okay, let's just load in. This was the first decision. It said, do I want to give him a red crayon or a blue crayon? Let's just do a blue crayon. Out of sheer spite, I grab a blue crayon. Look, I have to be here until the customers leave, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. I bring the crayon back over to him and hand it over. Thank you, Mr. Ace. Look, I'd really appreciate it if you could order something. I'm usually very good with customers, but this is seriously trying my patience. Look, I know you're probably having a rough night, but we're closing soon. No warning, nothing. He knocks everything off the table and climbs right on. What the fuck? Hey! What do you think you're doing? His deft hand scrawls a wide circle, then another, that sections off areas, slicing as though the crayon were a knife. He fills it with symbols. They look almost like zodiac signs. I don't like that last part. It's like I stood up too fast. There's a rushing to my head. There's a pressure, like my ears are going to pop. Ugh. The tablecloth rips and there's a spray of sweet-smelling fluid. I leap away from the table as something bursts out. Okay, so this is all the same, so I could just skip to the next option, right? Let's just... They have their interaction. Okay, I gave her lamb chili last time, so let's go with tomato bisque. This doesn't seem to mean much of anything to her. But we make a pretty killer tomato soup here, and it's popular with kids. I have no idea what flavor would taste good to her mouth. So it's best to stick with something with broad appeal. My eyes flip back over to Hendrik, and there's mild disappointment on his face. This isn't what he would have chosen, but it looks like he can work with it. And what would you like for your entree? She slams a fist down on the table. Wait, so this is all the same. My stomach lurches. First, bring me the matter. The physical form requires fuel to sustain itself. I turn on my heel and fly out of there, an excuse to leave. If there are any extra-dimensional beings looking down on me right now, I would like to take this opportunity to thank them. I rush into the kitchen. Back in the kitchen, everyone's still bustling about. Other servers are calling in their orders. The ambitious cooks are working. The slightly less ambitious cooks are cracking jokes with each other. They're as oblivious as the customers out front. I can see my manager discussing some menu changes with the head chef. Hey, does anyone else see what's going on out there? But nobody turns to look at me. Hey, I'm serious. What the hell is going on? Are they ignoring me? Do you expect me to just come back here and bring in the orders like nothing's wrong? I take a sarcastic tone. Yeah, we got blue cheese and a bisque for table 6. Just another usual night, right? Without warning, a tray with the order is put down on the counter next to me. Other than that, there's no hint of a glance, no guilty looks. Hey! Nobody even flinches. Fine. Looks like I'm on my own. And did I tell you how lovely your eyes are this evening? From your ever-effusive sewer pipe of compliments springs something worthwhile. I made most of them myself, but the eye in the center of my head was my reference object. Okay, so this is all the same. I don't want to skip too much, though, because I want to see, like, new stuff. Skip. I can skip unseen text. Okay, here we go. This is different. I serve Taliaporia her bisque, trying not to get too close. Please be careful. It's very hot. Remember, sweetie, that too much heat can injure. Silence, meat garden. I know what to do with volatile heat sources. Oh. She flings the scalding liquid across the table and it hits Hendrik square in the chest. Ugh! He rushes out to the bathroom, face red from pain. We don't serve our soups at a heat that could do permanent damage, but that still has to hurt. She closes most of her eyes and inhales a deep breath, satisfied. When she speaks again, her rough voice has a tranquil tone. Clean it up, human. This is an establishment with standards, is it not? Well, it was, I mutter. The elegant charm might be a bit altered by the sudden appearance of giant tentacles. She snuggles down into her seat. This is a gift for your owners. This is a sliver of my true form. Well, it's lovely. Sorry that you didn't like the bisque. Apology unnecessary, human. I enjoyed that immensely. She wraps the scarf around herself. Now that I think about it, the clothing Hendrik brought for her is all very heavy. Okay, so this is all the same again. Taliporia leans down on the table, the edges of the scarf trail into her bisque. Or at least what's left of it. Is it selfish to be happy that she's disarmed now? I look at the still present tentacles and recalculate that statement. She at least cannot harm me with soup. And that's something. So, human, how do you enjoy generating your own heat? So I could technically do other... So this is for the... So, I do this one. Physical activity is fun. It's good. I'd rather just turn on the heater, though. When it gets cold, I can't bring myself to do much of anything, so I'll just turn up the thermostat. She slams a hand down. No! This is unacceptable! Lazy human! In the void, there's no heat. There are no suns off of which to leech, like some creature that lives off the blood of another. I don't think she knows that the verb correlates to an actual animal. You need to be more grateful. And Hendrik returns. Getting along well. As well as might be expected. Still. Okay, so this is the same again. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Can I go back? Hey, human ace. Okay. Yeah? Choose. Do it promptly and wisely, or else I will need to consume something else for my main course. She's staring me right in the eyes, and her gaze lingers on my mouth. She stares at my teeth and licks her lips. Could she eat my teeth? Well, I think you would enjoy... Does the crayon not really matter? I'm just going with all the first options right now. We have a beautiful porterhouse steak. Steak? She certainly recognizes that word. And I wouldn't normally recommend doing this, but there's a bone, or a piece of cow skeleton in the steak. Maybe you might also be able to eat that. Apparently, yes. And I'll have the lobster, please. He looks a little embarrassed. It is a night for celebrating, you know. Hey, I don't mind. Rack up that bill. He chuckles, and I head off to the kitchen. The cooks prepare the dishes as usual and hand them off to me. Just like the last time, never making eye contact or reacting to anything I say. Both of these meals require special cutlery. I've got a lobster fork and a cracker for Hendrik, and a steak knife for Taliporia. The serrated edges gleam in the murky light. Is it really a good idea to hand a weapon like this over to her? I'm on my own here, and nobody will help me if she attacks me. Or maybe, since nobody else will help me, I have to deal with the situation myself. She hasn't made a move to harm me yet, but she did do a number on the dining room. It may only be a matter of time. As I look over at table 6, it's time to make a choice. What should I do with the knife? Oh. Yo? Okay, hold on. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to kill her. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to give it to Taliporia as though she were any... Let's go! I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and kill her. I slide the knife to the back of the tray and approach them. No, I can appreciate finely crafted... fast meals? So you'll come with me then. They're pretty distracted with their conversation, so they barely even notice me. I make no promises. Why should I come watch humans pretend to injure one another when I could just as easily go out and cause harm to actual befall them? I place Hendrik's plate in front of him and his cutlery. But they're so creative. You couldn't actually get away with half of the tortures in horror films. Especially not the ones nowadays. And most humans don't contain half as much blood as they show on screen. I put Taliporia's steak down in front of her. This is true. I did enjoy the film where the women put the men in the bags. and I grip the knife. There are a bunch of places to stab her, but the big eye on the chest looks like a vulnerable eye to hit. Of course, that kind of sheer torment transcends language. Oh God. I did it. Oh no. I did it. I jump back. But her eyes immediately glaze over and shut. Sweetie? He rushes to hold her. Just hold on. No! I was going to grab the knife again to defend myself, but he's right there. I need something to cut through the tentacles to get out of here. Oh shit. I thought this was a respectable establishment. Oh no. It's like a switch has just flipped. He pulls the knife out of Teleporia. Do you know how long it takes to put her together a body? He sidesteps around the table, and he's right in front of me. How long we have to wait for the veil to thin? Do you know how hard it is getting an immoral goddess of the void to look upon humanity with anything above contempt? How hard it is to keep her eternal hunger at bay? And worst of all, she might never go out on another date with me after this. The last thing on my mind before it goes all black is agonizing pain. But the penultimate thought is that maybe he might be even scarier than the thing he summoned. What ending is this? Ending 3, a bad idea. Okay, cool. So I got ending 3. And then let's just get rid of it, I guess. Get rid of the knife. No, I'll give it to her still. I'm gonna give it to her as if they were any... No, I'll get rid of it. You know what? Fighting them seems like a terrible call. But I also don't enjoy the idea of arming Teleporia any further. Sure, there are bread knives, but those aren't designed to cut through anything sharper than butter. So I serve them their meals, taking care to hide the knife. So, before I go, is everything to your liking? Is the food, powering your true form enough? Silly Ace. When in my true form, I do not consume human fuel. Okay, so this is all the same. Wow, like all of it. Oh, this is the dessert. So I think this one will end me with ending 4 still. Okay, I'll just go with this one. I recommend our chocolate torta for the delightful cupful. Must remain professional. Everyone loves chocolate. Go with the safe option. Don't screw around when you're so close to the end of this. So close. Bring it on, Mr. Ace. The tortas here do better after a few hours setting up in the cooler, so they aren't made to order. I grab a couple and some spoons in return. Teleporia doesn't seem to be a fan, but at least she doesn't make a scene. Hendrik asks for the check, and I rush off and get it ready in record time. He takes the check. He seems to do a bit of a calculation in his head, then lays down some cash. Well, this evening wasn't a complete waste of time and effort. Organ ravioli. Hendrik looks up at her. You may have one short, friendly embrace. He jumps to his feet, arms wide open to hug her, and one of the tentacles slams into him, throwing his body across the room. It slams into the wall and ragdolls to the ground. Hug transaction complete. Oh no, did you just kill him? She heaves a sigh. Okay, so this is all the same. Ending 4. Okay, so that got me ending 4 again. Okay, the drinking one. And since nobody seems to notice what I do this evening, I'll just grab a glass for myself and pull up a chair, and she can eat up all the discomfort she wants. I like this human. I'm keeping him. Sweetie, no. But I'm already off, grabbing the bottle and a trio of glasses. I slam them down on the table and fill them up. I'll bet that you haven't had a good drink in... Well, how long have you been stuck in that cold place? She grabs a glass. Void. Void. God. What's it like in there? She knocks back the brandy like it's whiskey. Probably goes without saying that she doesn't drink much. Dark, cold, mostly barren. Locked for something, approaching an eternity with nothing but your own thoughts. Unless one can become creative. I do my best to make creatures to fill it, but it's a vast expanse.
Literally, endlessly big. But with nothing in it.
Yeah, I got part of your conversation before. You made your body, right?
Indeed, when rifts become open, I am able to seize not only heat, but stray matter. I model the majority of my creations after your carbon-based life forms, but modifications must be made.
I'll bet if the void doesn't have heat or any matter, you'd need to make creatures that don't eat or breathe, right?
Good human. I model most of them after myself.
And you eat concepts.
Yes. After billions and billions of years, I've evolved over 1 million species of void creature. Nearly all of them feed, as I do, on the concept of suffering.
So it's an endless barren place with no light, no heat, where the only thing that exists just go around preying on each other's suffering all the time.
Yes. Is it not marvelous? And someday, human ace, there will be a rift large enough that it is not tiny scraps and stray humans which fall through, but your entire plane of existence. You will enjoy it.
Wouldn't I, hate it? I reach for the bottle, but it's nearly empty. She's been putting it away fast. I mean, I don't enjoy suffering. You'd be surprised what humans can get used to. He finally takes a sip of his brandy.
I used the wrong English word. A closer translation might be resignation. You would become resigned to an existence saturated with pain. Enjoy isn't the correct term, unless you're a disgusting cluster of miswired brain signals.
Love you too, sweetie.
I know what you're doing, Hendrik. You think, if you keep delaying me with fancy dinners, stolen body parts, gentle words, and rough sex.
Could we not talk about our sex life in public, thank you?
She places a hand on his arm. That you could stop me. You are as always disgusting, but an appealing opponent.
And with that, she slumps over on the table, snoring loudly. Oh, this is different. She throws him up against the wall the other time. By now, I can tell. That is a smile on her face. He turns her to her side, brushes her hair out of her face, and wraps her up in a scarf. Sorry, Mr. Ace. This must have been an awfully difficult table for you tonight. I didn't think they'd give us someone so new. Yeah, the manager didn't warn me that we had special clientele. I was not even close to briefed for it. Well, you handled it marvelously. If you'd like to bring us a check, I think it's time to get her home. I nod and clean up the bottle and glasses. So are you going to lock her up or something? He chuckles. No, this is just a sliver of the entity deep in the void. She can always make another body. But when she recalls the memories and experiences from this one, I want to make sure she knows she can always switch diets. I ponder that while I get his check. She's been around longer than our species, longer than our planet. So no matter how old Hendrik is, it's nowhere close. But when I bring the check back, Mr. Hendrik? I'm rooting for you. Keep on doing the hero thing. He laughs all the way through, signing the check loudly. My dear Ace, I assure you, I'm not being noble. It's very, very selfish. He looks at Talaporia. She grinds her teeth a little, probably dreaming of biting someone. He scoops her up, making it look easy. She must be lighter than she looks. And for a moment, I think he's going to kiss her on the cheek. But he doesn't give her anything more than a loving gaze. He carries her off, out of the restaurant, and the second they step outside the door, boom, everything goes back to normal. I start busting the table. The tingles may be gone, but the tablecloth is still a mess. I get it now. That closed space must be part of the restaurant, to keep people safe from their more bizarre guests. Now that they're gone, it'll be up to Hendrik to keep everyone safe. I bust the table and sneak a peek at the check. Dang! An 80% tip on a check with steak and a full bottle of brandy? They gave me 40% on ending 4. Makes the idea of staying here pretty tempting. I'm honestly considering it, but first I'm going to need to have a long talk with my manager. Normally, this sort of confrontation would be intimidating. But I'm bolstered by the memory of Talaporia's grin. And I grin too. I can handle it. Which ending is this? Ending 5, Sweet End Dreams. Okay, so I assume that's the final ending, the good ending. Okay. Well, now we have a choice all the way back over here. The original thing, a Caesar salad. That doesn't seem to mean much of anything to her. But hey, who can go wrong with the basics? One look at Hendrik and I can tell. Me. I can go wrong with the basics. He heaves a sigh. And what would you like for your entree? Okay, so this is just the same. I served Teleporia her salad, trying not to get too close. This time Henrik won't get hit though. I'll be back in a moment. I need to wash my hands after that summoning. Oh, so he just goes to the bathroom anyways. Before I'll ever feel clean again, I'll need a hot shower, a brio pad, and therapy. Teleporia purses her lips and pokes at the lettuce with a fork.
Foliage?
Oh no, look at her teeth. That cruel glare. Of course she's a meat eater. What was I thinking? I need to rescue this quickly. Our Caesar salad also comes with anchovies, which we'll see there. I gesture towards one of the small fish in her salad. She spears one on an elongated claw and peers closely at it with her cluster of eyes.
If you were to diagram your local food chain, where might one find this small creature?
I guess it isn't a plant or plankton, but still relatively toward the bottom. She snorts.
A meager offering for an establishment claiming to vend luxury? She picks the fish.
Wait, what?
She picks the fish out and chomps them down before shoving the rest of the bowl away, disgusted.
She wraps the scarf around herself. Now that I think about it, the clothing okay, so this is all the same. Oh, Teleporia leans down on the table. The edges of the scarf trail into her untouched salad.
So, human, how do you enjoy...
Okay, so... Oh, okay, so we're at this choice now. Okay, so I'll go with the sweaty one. I fan my collar a little. I could really use a cold drink right now. She gives a quizzical look.
Are you implying that at times you generate too much heat?
I nod. In the summer, when the sun gets closer to Earth, everything gets hot and gross. Humans can get so warm they die. Her eyes open wide, both of them, all of them.
Do you catch fire and burn?
No, it's nothing like getting burned. It's just too much heat for the whole system, I think.
And you cannot simply uncover yourselves and release the heat into the vacuum of space?
I shake my head. No, ma'am. The vacuum of space is too far away, and in the summer we're surrounded by too much heat.
Ha! Your creator failed to take the seasons into account. Tell it to mind that on the next draft.
I assure her that I will, and out of the corner of my eye I see Hendrik returning. And Hendrik returns. Okay, so this is the same. So she was fine with the salad. Now we have the option. So the squidding pasta. And there was one more dessert option, right? I think. Was there another dessert? Or I did all the desserts, I think. Okay, the squidding pasta. The chef's special today is a fresh spaghetti with squidding and Cajun shrimp. She sighs. Squids.
I have a special place in my heart for cephalopods.
Oh, so you added that fifth valve.
It's nurturing cuttlefish eggs at the moment.
Aww. I look to him for his order. I'll keep up the seafood theme. 1 lobster, no butter, please. Coming right up. The cooks prepare the dishes as usual and hand them off to me. Just like the last time, never making eye contact or reacting to anything I say. I serve Teleporia her pasta, and Hendrik his lobster. Spaghetti might not seem like a fancy food, but these noodles are pitch black. I mean, I think they're cool. She seems pretty neutral about them, which isn't the worst outcome I can imagine. So, before I go, okay, so this is all the same. Okay, and I think these will all be the same. He'll get burnt. I don't think it matters which one I go with this time. Because, like, they'll just leave, I think. They'll just leave. Well, he'll get burnt and they'll leave. And this one is... yeah, it's fine. We'll just skip. Yeah, okay. So I think the decision lies more on the knife part. Is this the knife one? It wasn't that one. Was it this one? No. Did I not save at the spot with the knife? Oh, okay. I'm going to give it to Teleporia as though she were any other customer. Fighting them seems like a pretty bad call. And there's no sense in making things really awkward, right? The night's been going on surprisingly well. And yeah, I'm going to count not dead yet as surprisingly well. Can I end up killing him? Like, is she going to stab him and then I'll do the flambe and he'll burn and then he'll actually die? I serve the dishes as usual, placing the lobster cracker and fork by Hendrik, and the steak knife next to Taleporia's place. She glances at it, but not for more than a second. The only thing she's intent on attacking is her dinner. Bloody juice flies from the steak, dripping everywhere, pulling in her lap, sprinkling onto her seat, flinging onto the tablecloth, speckling the crayon lines, which start to buzz slowly. Should I call this to their attention? Oh, okay. I gave a blue crayon for this one, right? So maybe the crayon color determines this spot? Excuse me, your summoning circle? They look up at me. I point to the tablecloth, where the wood is already beginning to shimmer and warp. Oh, sweetie, you're opening the rift back up. He scrounges on the floor for a moment before sitting back up with the crayon. We watch as he crosses out a line here, smudges a line there, until the table looks, if not normal, then at least Euclidean? I know this is a good time to retreat back to the kitchen, but I can't help but ask. So, did you just close the circle back up? It looked like the lines were already smudged before this. How precise do they need to be? He chuckles and picks up one of the lobster claws. This wasn't a circle for summoning or making a connection between realms. He places the claw inside the lobster cracker. This circle just eroded the barrier in an already weak location. Usually, this place's owner keeps the doorway nice and clear. Oh, well, mistakes happen, right? Just let her know to have a look at it, okay? Absolutely. She and I are going to have a long talk. It was no trouble. He starts to squeeze the cracker. If you know how anything works, it's easy to destroy it. The shell snaps open, and he starts digging the meat out. Teleporia appears at his hands, watching closely as he dismantles the creature. Would you like some?
Puh! I waste time preparing my own meal. My beefsteak is delicious, peon.
Suit yourself, but you're missing out.
On what? Steak is filled with calories for fuel and proteins, which are building blocks of DNA. Name one thing that makes your meal the superior dish.
I start to take a step back. They're eating. I can leave them in peace. Time to get back out of here before...
Human ace.
Great. Yes, ma'am?
Remain here and bear witness to my would-be mate's crushing defeat.
Yes, ma'am. There are a few things I want less than to stay in the same area as these two, especially if they're going to fight. Sweetie, you know I would never want to argue with you. I respect your opinions at all times, even when you're wrong. Oh no.
I am a deity. You cannot comprehend the depths of my knowledge. If I should have make a statement, then it is surely so.
Oh yes. She's so deeply infallible that her first time out in public in the 1800s, she ran screaming from an accordion player, having literally never seen, in untold millennia of existence, anything like it. I guess she was lucky that they weren't bagpipes, huh? Oh, did she just stab him? Ugh! She lunges across the table, steak knife flying. Before he could even move. Wait, that's not... Before he could even move, she stabs 3 times, knife driving down to the hilt with each thrust. Hendrik coughs, blood dribbling from his chest. He didn't move a finger to defend himself. One of those stabs must have gotten him in an organ. And it's not like he can't feel it. His face is skewed up from the intensity of the attack. I suppose that was uncalled for, wasn't it, sweetie?
I'm sorry, I missed what you said, because it sounded like you were spitting lies to the human.
Never, darling. At a complete loss, I pull an extra napkin from my apron and hand it over to Hendrik.
So, human, have I won the argument?
Gonna say yes. Pretty definitively.
Ha!
Now, knifeless, she picks up her steak and rips a chunk off with her teeth.
Let that be a lesson to you all.
I won't be forgetting that anytime soon. Okay. So, we get to dessert, right? I want to see if this is different now. Like, because he stabbed up... Fuck it, caution to the wind, banana foster flambe. Oh, wait, okay, so... We've had a lovely time, and I think... Sweetie, I think he's just tired. We've had a lovely time, and I think... Oh, no. I think I've got the two of you figured out by this point. And I think if I want this to be a truly satisfying night for our esteemed void goddess, then she's going to enjoy this dessert. Or at least know how we cook it.
What is this blathering about?
But I can't... I can tell I've got her hooked. We cook it tableside with a huge flame. And there it is. I'm not so sure about this. Looks like he's picked up on the pattern too. Oh, I insist. I don't even need to write this one down. 1 flaming dessert for table 6. It'll be a shame to waste something so tasty, but it's the best way to make what she really wants to eat. Oh no.
Hendrik, you're always begging me to share a dessert with you.
I scramble about the kitchen grabbing everything I need. Oh, okay. So this is... Ooh. Now that burn, that's one that could cause permanent damage. But by this point I expected it. I can sense a pattern. You don't give fire to a creature that loves suffering without expecting someone to get 2nd-degree burns. And he's trying to stifle a laugh, but it's pretty obvious. He loves it. I think he's just trying to keep up appearances. He executes a perfect stop, drop, and roll, and soon the flames are out. Though he's far from unscathed.
Human, this was a fantastic dinner.
Okay. Bring us the statement. It's not long before I return with the bill in hand. So, sweetie.
Abysmal choices. Meat soups. Flaming fruits. Bring additional fire so I may raise this entire city.
Huh? She laughs.
I jest, human. Why would I wish to rob myself of future enjoyment of dining here? You nearly gave me a heart attack. Should your organs cease, kindly deposit yourself in the nearest rift. I would be pleased to craft your matter into a new species.
Let me finish using it first. I've got plans.
Treat it well. I would be most displeased should my waiting be for naught.
Hendrik puts his very, very bloody napkin on the table. Looking at him, battered, burned, and bloodstained, there's the vague sense that I should be doing something. Getting a first aid kit or calling an ambulance. But that right there is just normal. That's what normal is for them. That's what their flirting looks like.
And you?
She turns to face him.
Surely the world will not thank you for any continued services of stalling me. But as you persist, and as your form does not look entirely disagreeable this evening, I find it acceptable to engage in the human ritual of mouth touching.
Oh. He springs to his feet, even though it looks like he should be stumbling over. Sweetie. Oh, wow. She moves in for the kiss, and of course it's odd. But I don't know, it feels right seeing them together. And who would have guessed that she was capable of being gentle? Maybe this is just the way love is. And there goes half his face. She got the skin in her hand, and it looks like she even took a muscle or two with it. She gives it an affectionate nuzzle.
I will be waiting by your vehicle. Do not keep me long.
It's harder to tell with his lower jaw missing, but there's enough cheek muscle left to see a grin. Do you want a bandage, or... He shakes his head and gets to his feet. He pulls out his wallet. He looks up at me, and through the blood, he's still beaming. Thank you. I nod back. I hope that wasn't one of his nicer ties. How much clothing do regenerative masochists go through?
Best state in over 100 years.
I think she might have reopened his stab wounds too. When I look up, he stumbled towards the door. Is he okay to drive? Whether Teleportia can or can't operate a car, I assume the outcome would be similarly disastrous. As he leaves, boop, everything goes back to normal. I start bussing the table. The tentacles may be gone, but the tablecloth is still a mess. I get it now. That closed space must be part of the restaurant, to keep people safe from their more bizarre guests. Now that they're gone, it'll be up to Hendrik to keep everyone safe. Good luck with that. I gather up the check and start walking it back to the kitchen. And somehow, after a night of monsters and gore, this is the biggest surprise of the evening. He's left me 100% tip on a dinner with steak and everything. I don't want to say that there's a price at which I'll bear this kind of treatment. I mean, what would they say about me as a person? I have pride. Still, I came here for experience and connections, and I sure experienced something tonight. Heh. My heart's still racing. The second the rift opened, I wanted to be anywhere but here. But now, I can't imagine working anywhere else. What do I need to research other restaurants for? This place is magic.
The minute my self-voicing disabled.
Whoa, I didn't even know there was self-voicing. Whoa. The minute my shift is over, I need to have words with my manager. I don't mind that she didn't warn me. I never would have believed her. But I need to make it absolute certain. I want to have the Saturday shift permanently. I want to meet all the strange creatures out there and hear all of their stories. This is a career. Ending 1, kissing on the 293rd date. I'm missing ending 2, which I have a feeling it has to do with... Oh, okay, so this is the ending right here. Oh, okay. I'll let this run through and then I'll go through and hopefully get the second ending, which I think I'll just have to leave the little void. Wow. Henrik? She's holding him by his guts. Okay. Now, was it this? This has to be how you get the other ending. So, this was about the summoning circle. I'll just... Bloody juice flies from the stake, dripping everywhere. Boiling in her lap, sprinkling onto her seat, flinging onto the tablecloth, speckling the crayon lines, which start to buzz slowly. Should I call this to their attention? Say nothing. I say nothing and I finish serving their food. As I do, I can see the wood warping like putty until something starts to push against it from beneath. Oh, a tentacle shoots out. It looks much like Talaporia's, but smaller and spikeless. What? The barrier, it's still weak? Ugh, can I not have one night to myself? She flips the steak knife in her hand, holding it blade down, and begins to slash at the tentacle. Stop acting up for attention! It squeaks, pathetic and defeated, knife buried in it, down to the hilt, before sinking back into the rift. Hendrik snatches the crayon up from the floor and scrawls out the circle. The familiar, if broken surface of the table is once again visible. I really wish you weren't so harsh with them. And I wish you'd stop trying to be their father. Well, I suppose it isn't easy being mother to an entire ecosystem. Okay, so that's the same... And finally, he fills out the check. So, sweetie. Mediocre food, boring company, not enough of my preferred sustenance. Sounds like a pretty bad Yelp review, but it's not the end of the world. I'm burning the whole place down. Okay, now that's not great. Sweetie, no! She launches a tentacle at him, throwing him across the room and pinning him to the wall. And with others, she breaks a light fixture. Okay, so wait, what did... This was the salad one, right? So I gave a salad? I think I gave a salad. And then I gave steak, and then I chose chocolate. Okay, a light fixture. She breaks the light fixture, dunks her napkin in the table's olive oil, and stuffs her napkin into the broken circuit. Not again. Why am I not surprised that this has happened before? She lumbers out of the restaurant as it burns. I don't remember much else from that evening. Coughing, someone carrying me out of there, lots of panic. Perhaps it just took the building burning down around them to get everyone to notice. The restaurant shut down, and I didn't get any forwarding numbers. I can kiss that reference goodbye on my next round of applications. When I check the pockets of my ruined uniform, I find some paper. Oh, it's a check on the tip. 20%. Nice. I mean, it doesn't make up for losing my job, but I appreciate that he understood that I tried. Oh, ending 2, unsatisfactory service. Okay, cool. So that's every ending. So the first ending was 100% tip. Second ending gave me a 20% tip. The third ending was a 40% tip, I think. No, the fourth ending was a 40% tip. What was the third ending? I don't even remember it now. I'm trying to remember what it was. But I believe that is all the endings that this game had. I believe it only had 5 endings, because the first ending is definitely the ending they want you to get. So based off that, there's not going to be any other true ending. Yep, there are 5 endings. So those were the other endings of May I Take Your Order. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. If you have any other game recommendations, drop those in the comments down below. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.